Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of a one-on-one conversation. My name is Wonsun. 안녕하세요, 여러분. 제 이름은 손은입니다. And happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, man. Oh my gosh. You're the first one to wish me that today.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Did you get chocolate? Did you get chocolate or anything like that?
Sorry?
Did you get any chocolates or anything like that?
Just the chocolate granola I gave myself.
Oh, man. I love it. Okay. So. If you do not... All right. Welcome to another episode. I already said that, but, today's guest, we have my friend Jake Handerhan, a.k.a. the world's strongest tree hugger, as well as a fellow former exercise science major.
Yeah, yep.
So to kick it off, my first question is, could you let us know about yourself a little bit to the audience?
Yeah.
And absolutely. I get 70 views, so it's okay. To my 31 subscribers out there.
Hey, all right. Well, for all 31 of you guys, my name's Jake Handerhan. I'm also a junior, and I was a classmate of Juan's, University of Buffalo. I spent the first couple of years going to school for exercise science, looking to be an athletic trainer. And since then, I've switched majors over to environmental science, and I'm looking to be a forest ranger right now.
A forest ranger.
That's the big goal right now. Yeah. Yep.
You're gonna stop poaching. You're gonna kill poachers, right?
What?
You're gonna kill poachers, right? Shoot them up.
I mean, that something I haven't really been the specific goal, but I mean, if things come up, I'll try to deal with it the best I can.
I don't know if poaching is a huge issue here in America, but I know like Africa is a huge issue with the lions and rhinos and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of the issues. It seems like in New York State is not finding enough people to be hunting, especially like the white-tailed deer population.
Oh, really?
Just goes crazy, and then like they kind of eat themselves out of their own place in the ecosystem. But
it's pretty ironic though, because usually New York is the second most populous, well, maybe tied with California for the most populous state, and you're telling me that we don't have enough rangers for that kind of work.
Enough range. I mean, so the DC is going through kind of like a transitional period where this state in of itself and the governor wants to combine like rangers and NCON jobs, and then the DC is like, we shouldn't do that. And I don't know a whole lot of like the details, nitty gritty about it too much, but there's definitely like a lack of funding for the area and things like that. So hopefully with the environmental concerns that are being increased in just kind of the general public, then there'll be more money allocated to those kind of departments though. Oh,
okay. All right. So my new, I will get back onto this. Don't worry. I'm just like doing my usual bits. Mm-hmm. So whatever the guest name is, I realize that I like making puns out of them. So if you didn't know, and also based off your Facebook and your Twitter, I assume you like dad jokes.
Yeah. Oh, huge fan.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. So I came up with 3 just to.
I'm very excited.
Sure. Okay. So what did the drummer call his twin daughters?
I don't know.
And a 1 and a 2.
That's a good one.
Number 2. What does a nosy pepper do?
Ooh,
it gets jalapeno business. Is it the joke or is it like the actual? What is it?
It was both the joke and the delivery right there. Too.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm going for. And I've got 2 more. Two goldfish are in the tank. One says to the other, "Do you know how to drive this thing?"
What?
Two goldfish are in the tank.
Oh wow! I didn't. That one took an extra second. That was a good one.
Number 4. What kind of an organization is atheism?
I don't know.
It's a non-profit organization.
All right, that was good.
I did my research.
That was a good one.
Thank you. All right, by the way, Lily Poppincock says hi.
Dude, I just saw her message earlier and
oh, really?
Shouted out, said, hey. Hi, Lily. What's up? I hope you're having just an amazing day and wonderful Valentine's Day.
Oh, I forgot she's got a boyfriend and all that.
Yeah.
I wonder how that's going down.
Well, hopefully they're doing
fantastic,
like a fancy dinner, flowers, things like that, the whole 9 yards.
She's working, so she's got some money.
All right, well,
I guess when you're out of undergrad state, then you can start getting a bit more money. Possibly, yeah. I don't know, as a master's kind of student though.
Problem for future us, right?
Ah, yeah, I don't know, man. Our generation's going through some weird trends though right now, and
Yeah.
like we've got a lot waiting for ahead of us too.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, and another two more puns off your name. Did you know that there is a company called JakeFood.com?
I didn't know. I did not know that. That's an actual site. Jake Food.
I'll send you the link. No, I'll show you the link in the description box. Sponsor me if you can.
It looks really really good. Jake Food. If you want to sponsor me as well, I'm always down for some OD vanilla and forest fruit and banana and vitamin bars.
And were you aware of this place in Buffalo? It's called Jake's Cafe in Buffalo.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, you
I've
do?
driven by that one. Yeah.
Have
I
you
was
gone there?
super excited. I'd never been there, but I drove by it.
It's pretty good
Oh, yeah?
online. It's rated. It's rated 4.3 stars
Ooh.
out of 5.
It's all in the name, you know?
Yeah, Jake's Cafe. It sounds so welcoming right there. Because I feel like the name Jake is just so very. I feel like anything with a J is very welcoming usually.
I'm glad.
Like James.
Yeah.
Because if a doctor came with you, hello, my name is Dr. James,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, Dr. James. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. You
Dr.
seem,
J, yeah.
you seem pretty like official almost. Or someone named you like Julius or something like that.
Like Caesar?
Good point. But he was a very official.
That's fair.
A lot of power.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Jays are both welcoming and powerful.
The Jays are gonna take over the world.
Yeah, someday.
I know you're gonna take over the forest one day.
Dude, yeah, I don't know about that. I'll work on it.
I got you. So So in order to do this, I was going full on Sean Evans with this, and their main thing is usually scrolling through their Instagram. And I looked through their entire Instagram bit by bit, and there was really funny posts, especially the one with the turtle.
Oh, yeah.
That one was actually really funny.
Dude, I'm so glad you liked that one. I was pretty proud of that one.
It was like 125 weeks ago. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
And then
I forget what I say under it.
This turtle beat me in the race.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was, if you go through my Instagram, it's just Jake Handerhan. It was like a baby turtle. If I saw it.
I'll show a picture. So my first question, like actual question, would be, what doesn't your Instagram tell us about you?
So, man, that's actually a really cool question. Because,
Sean Evans style.
Because there's less and less of me that my Instagram's not showing now.
Oh.
I've my own kind of little project in 2020 has been putting out a weekly video on Instagram for kind of each week.
I did see that.
I plan. Yeah. So right now we're going into week 7.
Who's we?
Me.
You just said we.
I'm going into week 7 with it. We as me and whoever else happens to be around when I'm filming.
You don't have like a producer or something like that?
Yeah, right.
You have like a multi-million-dollar company funding this entire project of yours.
Yeah, Apple actually, and their iPhone 8, my camera and editing tool and everything. So yeah, I thought that I was like, I do a decent amount of kind of fun adventure stuff. Like, maybe start a vlog. And I was like, I know me enough to know I'm not gonna actually like film everything and do stuff like that. So I was like, a good kind of, I guess, gateway or a good like transition into that would be just try to get 1 minute of video, either of like one event I do that week, or kind of cumulative, like little snapshots of throughout my week, and then just throw it up. Okay. And so that's kind of been my goal with it, my idea behind it. So I'm definitely putting myself out there a little bit more lately with that. Other than that, I made a second Instagram a little bit ago.
A second Instagram?
As well. Yeah, I called it _Handerman.
Handerman?
Yeah, that's right. Made a little something out of Handerhan. And so I only post workouts on that one.
Oh.
Workouts and lifts. And that was just kind of like
Bradley Martin?
Sorry?
Like Bradley Martin? Sorry for cutting you off.
Probably closer to like a CrossFit style page, honestly. I don't want to get any hate for that. But I end up doing a lot of like Olympic lifts and faster stuff and like rounds of workouts. But I want to make a second one for that, just so that if people follow me, they didn't have to just see me working out all the time. But I'm thinking about consolidating them and just being like, this is just what I spend so much of my time doing. I definitely don't post anything about the homework I do or things like that.
I don't think any of us do.
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
besides like venting kind of posts, like
Yeah.
when you're on your last brain cell for finals and all that.
Hanging out with my paper boys.
Me and my second house caping all.
Yeah, right.
So, my second question was actually, it's been 28 days. No, I'm sorry. It's been 19 days since Kobe passed.
Mm.
And we did talk about this one time when we was working out at Alumni Arena.
Yeah.
And you were not like a full-time basketball, like a full-on basketball fan.
No,
But
for sure.
but the thing that amazed me was the fact that, it did shake you a bit though.
Mm.
And could you...
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like. I don't follow basketball a bunch. If it's on, I'll watch it. Basically, I'm that way with kind of most sports that they come on. But Kobe was one of those athletes who was just, I mean, at the very top, the highest echelon of his game, right? And I think that those athletes come around once in a generation, and you see that with like Tom Brady's to football as Kobe was to basketball. And, like Babe Ruth was that to baseball, Klokov to like weightlifting, things like that, Ali to boxing. And so when athletes are just at that level, they obviously, especially now with like social media, things like that, they can have such exposure to inspire an entire generation of athletes. And obviously fitness and athletics is really close to my heart. And so what he had the ability to do is to inspire probably thousands and tens of thousands of kids to work hard at basketball, right? And I think that working hard at anything, and especially in athletics, is admirable no matter what you're doing. And what he had the ability to do was with like the Mamba mentality, just like inspire a work ethic in a whole generation that in and of itself is something that I have so much respect for. In that.
When he passed, like I just was so graced with watching him and how he conducted himself business wise and how with his family, and he just seemed too great for death. Like he just seemed too powerful. He just seemed too badass for something as little as death can take him. But then it just reminded me of like, we can die anytime as well. And then the questions of, don't take life for granted. And then he's saying things like he wanted to die young and all that stuff. I was like, whoa, man, death is real trippy kind of thing. And it doesn't help the fact that I watched Supernatural. I don't know if you know about that show.
Yeah, I've seen a bit.
Man, it did shake me so much, but especially the fact that when I found that his daughter was on the same helicopter as him, and if you're a basketball fan, you know how much of a killer his daughter was, and I just wanted to see her like take over the WNBA, because the main joke is with WNBA players, like they'll never be able to dunk against NBA players, but like when I was watching her, I'm like, bro, she's everything like Kobe. Like she's got the glare, she's got the aura, she's got the persona of Kobe, someone who just doesn't give a crap about anyone on the court. And just that same aggressiveness, I was like, I'm so excited to see how she turns out. And then it just got snatched away, not for my own sort of selfish needs, but it was just like I really wanted to see how it turned out. And the fact that like he left behind a little 3-month-old baby and a 7-year-old girl, I mean 3-year-old girl, I was like, they're not gonna even know their dad and all that. So that's what kind of got me a bit though when I found out.
Yeah, man. But I'm thinking what you said earlier there too. Like he created such a legacy while he was with us that part of him is just never going to die. With like all of us who grew up with that, and just like his name and what he's done is something that's going to stay on for maybe not for forever, but for a much longer time than a couple weeks ago.
For me, the thing that will stay always forever will be the Mamba mentality, because it's so universal with anything we do.
Yeah.
Because nobody likes a lazy ass. We all know that.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a hard work. Well, not everybody, but most people who are have a sense of logic, they would like someone who's hardworking.
Yeah.
And the Mamba mentality, absolutely. And the professionalism and how he conduct himself is just so inspiring, though. All right, so a bit more. Let's transition to a more happier note. I just wanted to get a bit of a twist because it was so, like I said, just someone who's unexpected, but at the same time expected because of how much he had with our generation. Because you and I are both 20, right? You're 21 yet?
21 now, yeah.
Wait, or when were you born?
On the week of Thanksgiving, 98.
Oh wait, but you got into the grade below you or something then? Because you and I are both juniors right now.
Yeah, I was just always old for my for my grade. I mean, I knew like 3 or 4 kids who were older than me in high school in my grade, but other than that, I just was the oldest. I was never like held back or anything. I just happened to be.
I think
older.
you might have like missed like a period or something like that, right? Because what they do back in Long Island would be this is like the cutoff date. That's a better word. It's
Yes.
a cutoff date. That's what it was.
Yeah. Yep. I was like going into either like preschool or kindergarten. I could have gone in the year above me, and then I would have been young for my grade, or could have gone in the year I did and been old for my grade. And my parents just happened to put me in the latter.
I think we would have succeeded in both grades in a way. So one thing that you will always pick up when you're going through Jake's Instagram or any type of social media, your love for nature.
Yeah, for sure.
Could you tell me the origins and reasons, please, about your love for nature?
Oh, dude, absolutely. Our family vacations as I was growing up. Yeah, it's my water bottle. This is a pretty cool thing. We have a kayaker right here, Adirondack Park. That's a tree stump. As we go around, that's a canoe paddle, a loon, and then it's like a sticker from an Adirondack museum. Yeah.
I love that logo. That's nice.
That's a cool one, right? When I was growing up, our family vacations were always camping trips.
Same here.
Hey, there you go. I didn't go to Disney World until I did it on a high school trip my junior year.
Me too.
This guy. I didn't go. Even when we went out west, we were in national parks the whole time. We flew in and out of Vegas, but other than that,
what were you doing in Vegas?
It's just literally flying in and out of.
Oh, okay.
I was like 15, I think. But yeah, just like every event we had where my parents took off work, we would end up camping, usually in the Adirondacks. A couple times like in the Finger Lakes, a couple times in Vermont.
Oh, Vermont.
Yeah, it was beautiful. We went to Jamaica, Vermont. That's one time, which was super. Yeah, right. I was like, Jamaica. We're going to Jamaica. I was like, Jamaica, Vermont. All right, still pretty cool. So that definitely inspired me to just be like, oh, when you have free time, go outside, basically. And I just grew up doing that, and more finding that I was the one instigating. Like, let's go out. Let's go do some stuff. Let's go do these trips and things like that. And when it really started to click for me was a lot more recently. When I was going into my junior year of high school, I did a 2-week-long backpacking trip.
Oh.
And it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. That was followed by doing a week-long backpacking trip the year before. And we did the Northfield Lake Placid Trail in the Adirondacks. And that cinched it for me. I was like, I need to, whenever I can, just be out here. And since then, I've done the northern third of that same trail. It's about a 130-mile trail. So I thru-hiked it once. I've done the northern third of it probably like 3 more times, both leading trips and doing it, just leading trips pretty much. I've done very small sections in the south a couple more times. I've done 27 of the high peaks that are in the Adirondacks, and I think 6 or 7 of them I did in the winter. A lot more just smaller hikes, things like that. And yeah, so I was just inspired by growing up around it and just being out there. Just found that I was very simply just happiest when I was out on the trails, and the community that I could build when I would go out with those 2, 3, 4 people was just the most intense community and the greatest friendships I could build, things like that. And all led to me just wanting to spend all the time I could out there.
Now I'd rather be studying and then you just be out there.
Yeah, that definitely has come back to bite me a couple times.
Is it a sobering experience for you then when you're going up on the mountains or hiking or something like that?
A sombering experience?
Sobering, sorry.
How do you mean?
Is it a cleansing kind of experience?
I would say, in a sense, that's definitely part of it. Part of just being so in tune with, I mean, evolutionarily, right? Humans are, and I know you know this from exercise science and things like that,
What's
but
up?
humans are designed to either walk or jog just vast long distances.
Oh, well, I could see that.
Right. And so being able to, like, there's a rudimentary part of me that's like, all right, this is good. This is goodness.
Mm.
There's also definitely a challenge to it that I really enjoy. I love the purity of just the nature that's out there, but I also do love like the challenges that it can pose more than just like taking a very slow walk and appreciating everything that's on the trail around you. I like doing that a lot, and I also like saying, okay, I'm gonna try to hike these 28 miles today.
Oh, that's what you mean by
know?
challenge. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like, running into a bear or something.
I mean, there is that too. In the Northeast, though, you're pretty safe with wildlife. I mean, there are black bears out there.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Black bears aren't too bad. You just yell real loud and they walk away. If I went out west, I'd be more concerned.
Oh, because of like, well, I guess that's more like Nevada region, like the coyotes or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we have coyotes up here and stuff too, but just, I mean, on the subject of bears in particular, the difference between like a black bear and a grizzly bear is pretty stark from what I understand. That being said, I've had no firsthand encounters with a grizzly bear. I've seen a couple black bears, but
it's like it's so casually of like, yeah, I didn't see a bear.
I mean, you spend enough time out there and it just happens. But I haven't had any. I've actually, a couple of friends of mine have had encounters where they're like inside of this room from myself to like the camera away, like 10 feet away. I've never had that. I've never had that close of an experience. They've always been like kind of 20, 30 yards already walking or running
that's
away,
Then actually, obviously, if you accumulate all what you just said right now, and one word comes to my head is tree hugger. But then one question I have about that, is it derogatory to call someone a tree hugger?
I think that I don't think so. I think some people could take it as that.
Of course.
Some people might be like, oh, I'm not a like tree hugger, I guess, but I'm pretty cool with it. Like, I've literally hugged a tree before.
I didn't find that on your Instagram.
No, I don't know if I'll take a picture next time and post it. I'll tag you there. Yeah,
I'll take that
for sure.
I'll take that. Thank you.
I think it might have been used derogatorily originally with like the big hippie movement in like the late 1900s and 80s in particular and stuff. But I think it just adds to the identity of a person who just really loves and wants to protect nature. And so I appreciate it.
My sister is actually environmental studies major, not science. And whenever I want her on the podcast to talk about this, she would get very frustrated, actually. She wouldn't be enthusiastic. I'm like, why? You do not care about what you study? She's like, no, it's not that. It's just, I just get so frustrated about what I say because the attitudes of humans towards nature and all that. And how...
Yeah, definitely.
And, it affects you too.
I mean, I can see where she's coming from with that for sure. I mean, by and large, humans don't have the greatest relationship with nature.
We do not.
I mean, since we were talking about earlier in the Adirondacks in particular, this vast wilderness that we know now was basically clear cut like 100 years ago. There's just ridiculous logging and mining going on, and since then, it's been done a really, really great job of preserving certain areas of land and regrowing it. That being said, we'll never have the old growth forest that used to be there, right? And in general, I mean, people just kind of view nature as tools and resources for themselves versus something in my opinion, they view it as something resource for them to live, not for them to live with.
I'll live with. I like that quote.
Yeah.
So in Joe Rogan's podcast, they usually take some phrase he says and it's like Joe quote Rogan. So I could just say Jake, what you just said, hand right there.
I like that. I think that's a cool quote for me to be known for.
It's okay. I'll make that t-shirt. I'll put that on a t-shirt or something though.
Oh, dude, that'd be awesome.
And you know what we could put it on? We could put it on for your Madria Outdoors.
Oh, the Madeira Outdoors.
I'm sorry, Madria.
I think it's pronounced Madeira.
Madeira?
Madera, right?
MAN or MADREA.
MAND.
I might misspelled it then.
I think ERA.
ERA. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry with that. But you are a brand ambassador, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw in your bio.
Yeah.
I was like, I might as well ask about it and to help them give a shout out too.
Yeah, it's a couple cool things. I'm brand ambassador for 2 companies right now. Madeira Outdoors, that's in the Jake Handerhan, and then FNX Fitness, or supplements, I guess, which is in the Handerman one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I literally just saw Madeira had an ad on Instagram, and we're looking for ambassadors. I was like, oh, all right, cool. And it's a really cool company. It's really one of those companies similar to like Cotopaxi that makes products by and for the outdoors, right?
Mm.
They namely make hammocks is the biggest thing from Madeira.
I like hammocks.
I do. They're awesome. And their goal is to just use their business model to help the environment.
Mm.
I think it's a cool business model.
I like that too, especially like with Jaden Smith's water thing.
Which thing?
He's got like some.
Oh, yes. Okay, I'm with you now.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a cool thing.
I just threw it up there. I was like, I'm trying to relate. Oh, Jaden Smith.
Yeah, no, that's a cool setup he's got.
So the next thing would be when you're talking about nature, it's we take from nature, right? And this segue kind of relates a bit to it. The Game Changers documentary.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You and I have talked about it briefly over text, and it was I was watching the trailer in my class, Com 205 Research Methods. Shout out to Zach Carr, best professor in the whole world.
Yeah.
And the documentary was to introduce a class to dependence on science.
Okay.
So the main thing was veganism. Is that the word? Veganism. When you're looking at it as a whole, right? These are all athletes, though, and initially it's like, oh, it's great, it's motivational. It kind of inspires me to go vegan.
Game Changers documentary did?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We were just watching the trailer.
Okay, cool.
But it's short, sweet, and it's got like a bunch of pump up music and all that. But then he said, rewatch it again, like analyze it. We were like, okay. So we watched it again. And then he said, what is it? What did you think about like the gladiators comment? And because gladiators in the back in the day were vegans.
Mm-hmm.
But our professor also mentioned gladiators were treated like crap. They were like the lowest of the low, and they were just given barley because it's just barley too. So the skepticism is what he was trying to introduce us that to as well. So what do you think about what the documentary offers to society? Sorry.
Yeah. No, I think. So have you seen the whole documentary?
I wish I could have, but no, I'm broke.
Okay.
I can't subscribe or anything like that.
Oh, excuse me. So I had the opportunity I've seen the whole thing. I thought it was really well done documentary. I thought they did use a lot of scientific techniques in what they're going for there. They referenced a lot of articles, and I thought that point was really well done. I forget the name. Do you remember the name of the guy who he was the UFC fighter who was like the narrator and the main proponent of the documentary?
Oh Lord, is my battery dead or something like that? That's okay. I have a backup battery.
Okay.
We'll take a break.
Word. Word on.
Hello. Sorry about that, guys. So, okay, we're recording. So, what were we talking about?
Game Changers?
Yes, we were talking about Game Changers. It's offering to society as a whole.
Yeah. So James Wilkes, the guy who headed it up, I think he did a really, really good job looking at a lot of different facets of athletics in particular, that and where vegan diets have been utilized, and where obviously definitely focused on the benefits that they've had, and where it's come out good, I guess is the best way I can kind of say that, where these vegan diets have been utilized to vastly increase the performance of those athletes. Now, I think that that guy, James Wilkes, did a podcast with Joe Rogan, and it was him and a critic of him and the documentary we're on, and they were they were debating back and forth about both a documentary and vegan diet, and how the documentary could have basically skewed a viewer's look on nutrition in general. And I think that in of itself was it was an interesting debate. It was pretty long. It was like 3 hours. It was sizable. I would definitely highly recommend anyone who's seen Game Changers, though, to also watch that, or at least part of that, because the critic brings up a lot of really good points. I don't remember well enough to quote him off the top of my head, but the critic definitely did a really good job of what he was trying to do there. I think that Game Changers definitely did a really good job to society, like what you're saying, of opening up people's eyes to how a vegan diet can be utilized in a performance aspect of it, not just as like this is just a group of hippies that are trying to trying to ruin the beef industry, and they're not going to eat anything we have just because they're, being weird. But looking at a vegan diet as saying like, oh wow, this can be utilized to...
Wait, I'm sorry. We're going to take a break.